Everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Go then.
Yeah, Mujib.
Go then. This is Mujib. I'm encountering some link problem. I'll just get back to you in 2 to 3 minutes. I'll join again. Okay.
Okay, all right. Maybe my screen is not in sync with you. Please let me know so that I will move a bit slow. Yeah. If you have any problems, please let me know.
Yeah, Govardhan, I think it is slow.
Yeah, we have a bad network issue from Bangalore side, I can understand. But still we can manage it by moving slowly.
There is due network issue.
I'm sorry, somebody was saying something.
Yeah, it's me, Anand here. Have you cancelled the sharing?
No, it's I still sharing is there still. I see some of the people is not accepted. It's in Nisha and Anand. Yeah, Nisha is not yet received.
I received, but I lost. I'm trying again.
Okay, there will be a rejoin link in right
Yeah,
hand
I
side.
got it.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. Thanks.
The people who are not talking, please be on mute. Okay, let me start. Well, BPT, you might be aware about BPT is nothing but a business process testing. It's a type of framework or approach or set of guidelines provided by HP tool, HP ALM. Yeah, it has option to use this as a automation testing and manual testing. I mean, it has a lot of features to use this BPT to design a test or create a test and maintenance and execution and the data management. So all the end-to-end process, whatever we do in a test life cycle, we can do with the BPT. That means it's a kind of set of guidelines to execute a system under test. Yeah, it is as same as any framework which we do in terms of automation testing, like hybrid driven framework or keyword driven or data driven, whatever we consider. But it's another type of framework if you consider in terms of automation kind of way. But if you treat it as a manual testing process, then of course you can also do with the BPT approach. But it gives a standard and stringent rules to follow. So that's the reason for long run projects, if subject matter experts or functional consultants involved in any project to test some softwares with test cases, they always choose this BPT, business process testing process. Okay. We have HP ALM tool which will strongly support this BPT. This PPT has a lot of features which we can modularize our test cases, and we can optimize our testing process completely. As I said, like creating a test, designing, maintaining, and executing, and managing the data. Everything we can do with the BPT process. It reduces the test lifecycle times by leveraging business subject matter experts in the test design and the quality optimization process. If you would have worked with the SAP application earlier, almost a lot of SAP projects will always follow this BPT approach, because SAP has a completely module-driven approach. Each and every, they have a lot of transaction codes, and each and every transaction have some modularity in the application functionality. So SAP application, whatever we do testing, will always follow this BPT approach. Of course, it depends upon the client requirement. There are no subject matter experts involved in this project, then the client may request to follow any other approach, like hybrid driven or keyword driven. But as per as know, a lot of projects will be executing in a BPT approach. And wherever we feel there is a modularity in the application, to divide our application into logical units, to break it down into logical units, then we can always go ahead with the BPT option. For better example is you can have in create order test. If you choose one example, you might have familiar with the order creation test case. A lot of projects might have this test case. If you consider in the first generation, what we used to do, we used to create some test cases for order creation. Let's say from login to logout, login, creating order, viewing order, and logout. And the other test case, if you treat delete order test, we again write a login test case, a login function, and then search for an order. If we have created the previous order, then delete that order and view order. If there is no order, then test is passed and log out. And if you want to update the same order, again login, search out, update order, view order, and log out. I mean, if you can see here, there are some components which are common for 3 test cases: creating order, delete order, update order. That means maybe creating order. To delete an order, we may require to create an order, right? Or if you want to update an order, it's required to have any existing order. If there is no existing order, then we need to create one order. And apart from that, we need to have login and logout components are common. I mean, this is just a sample and simple example. If we treat a real application, we may have come across a lot of components which will be reused. So, I mean, this is the first generation approach which we used to follow. We used to follow completely end-to-end, one-by-one transactions or components which we used to put, and we used to make the test case ready. That means each test case has a login code, create order code, viewing order code, logout order code. That means, let's say this test case has 20 lines of code. And second test case also may be having 25 lines of code, where the 25 lines of code maybe might have copied from the first test case, create order, to maybe 15 or 20 lines of code will be the common. Only delete related order functionality, the other 5 steps will be different. And if you treat the update order, maybe this is also same as that. We need to have only one test case, and we need to copy it and paste it there. That means there is a redundancy. I mean, copying and pasting and making them into repository, everything. We need to have. I mean, there is a redundancy in this here. Each and every test case, just we have to copy from other test case and make it, and that giving that occupying more space on our test artifacts. And for tester also, it is a tedious task, just copy pasting and making sure to execute it again. So I mean, this was the process which we used to follow in first generation. If you work with the BPT approach, if you can see here, I mean, here you can see the orders: login, viewing order, and the other test case viewing order, maybe another test case viewing order. The components are common. So we used to just create a new component and we used to paste it here. This was the approach we used to follow. If you consider in the BPT approach, all components we make as a reusable components, and we have to put it in one common repository folder. And whatever we required for in order to make one test case, we just pull these components and we design our test case. If you can see here, all our components placed in this repository, and to prepare first test case, we just call some components, whatever we require to fulfill this first test case. And for second test case, we just call the components which require to fulfill this test case. If we have hundreds of components, we can have multiple test cases can be ready, which will cover end-to-end functionality. So this is the approach or process which we follow in business process testing. Anybody have any doubts so far? Any questions?
No.
I mean, am I clear to everybody? Is it
Yes.
a bit vague? Okay, all right. So this is the second generation which we use BPT, BPT process, and if you can see here, as I said, this is for especially for automation testing, and of course we can do with the manual testing. Of course, manual testers are always do with this approach. For login manual test case, they write simply login related steps, and again order created steps and viewing order, logout order. All those still following in the first generation process. And this PPT approach has a facility to create components and put it there and just drag and drop those components and prepare our test case if you follow the BPT process. Even manual testing also can follow this BPT, not only with automation. If you see here, there is a screenshot which I have attached for automation testing, which I have called multiple components, which I have stored in one set of folder ME51N. And there are a lot of reusable components which we have created under BPT approach. So these are the components available in this folder. So I just pull these components and put it there in this test scripts in order to make our test case ready. So these are the components 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the components. If you scroll down, you can see the other components which are available in this here. So in order to create this test case, this is the test case. Create new purchase equation. This is the new test case, and I just pulled available or readily created components and pasted it here. So that automatically generates or creates or designs a new test case. So it's very simply, that means it gives a modularized approach. For example, if you want to write a test case for a single screen, just automate or record specific steps whichever we want, and create a reusable component for that particular screen. And if that particular screen might have come across in different test cases, so whichever test cases are covering that particular screen, just pull that relevant code or component into our test case and make other scripts ready in order to run that particular test case. So this is very simple approach, and of course I can understand this approach is a bit time consuming, although it is simple and straightforward, but it takes bit time compared to other conventional process. But it has a lot of set of rules and stringent conditions which if we follow that particular rule, then we definitely reach our milestones within a short span of time. Initially it might take much time, but once we have ready with the reusable components, then we definitely reach our milestone within a short span of time. There are a lot of key benefits available with this BPT, which allows non-technical subject matter experts to quickly build, data drive, and document test in a web-based system, or maybe in any other system, not only web-based. It provides a framework to design and develop reusable test components and flow based on business process models. Of course, as I said, BPT is a one kind of framework if you consider in terms of automation, same as hybrid driven or keyword driven or data driven, and which allows you to manually execute business process tests with HP Sprinter. It has the option to execute manual test cases, and the same business process tests can be executed manually with HP Sprinter. It reduces the effort required for test maintenance and by developing centralized. These are the lot of features. Maybe I will share this PPT. You may go through these points which are available. Let me dive into the actual application with the process from HP ALM. So far, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Any doubts so far? Okay. In order to create, in order to follow in any automation testing, in order to use the BPT, first we need to create an application area which is available in test resources tab. Yeah. Everybody see my QTP screen, quality center screen, right? HPLM screen.
Yes.
Yeah, here if you can select test resources, by the way, it will be available in testing tab. In testing tab, you can have a test resources sub tab. If you select that, you have option called to create a new resource. Yeah. If you click on that new resource, please bear with me because HPLM is very slow usually, and same case with today also. And on new resource wizard, you can see a lot of options which are available. There is an option called application area. If you can see here, everybody can see?
Yes.
Okay, so if you choose this application area option, sorry, it becomes data table.
Hello, Govardhan.
Yeah. Yeah, Ranjan.
Yeah, it's quite slow here. Can you wait for 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just clicked on new resource.
Yeah, now it's okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I am in a new resource wizard. There is a type of resource. If you can see here, there are a lot of options available: application area, data table, environment variables, function library, recovery scenario, shared object repository, test resources, and testing activity. You might be familiar, if you are familiar with QTP or any other automation stuff, you might be familiar with these options. What is data table and what is environment variables, function library, recovery scenario, object repository, and all. So the first option is application area. In order to create any BPT approach, we have to choose one application area. I will explain you why we require this application area. Let me create a new application area. I have just given some name, test demo app area. If you are familiar with Java or any development softwares, you might be aware about some workspace, right? Maybe if you have worked with Eclipse or .NET related Visual Studio and all, you might have aware about the workspace. So a workspace is nothing but one schema where we can dump all our test artifacts, which will give some environment to run or to execute some set of softwares or frameworks related stuffs. So application area is same as that. That means it gives one environment to run or to execute our test cases or test scripts. Here we can associate our function library files and data tables, whichever environmental variables, whichever we required. Did it create? No, it didn't. Description resources mandatory. Okay. Okay. Created one application area. If you can see here, there is an application area. So this application area, maybe if you can see here in the application area viewer, you have option to launch QTP. Application area is nothing but a workspace where it creates or it provides one environment which will be useful to run our scripts by associating some function libraries or environment files or test data files, whichever it required to execute one particular test. Don't worry, Raman. So I'm recording this screen, this session. Maybe you can go through after this session is completed. Yeah.
Okay.
But just be in line with me. If you have any doubts, just ask my friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So once we create this application area with the QTP, we'll have to open it and we'll have to associate our required function library files or test data files or environmental files, so that we make this application area is complete in order to run any particular test case. You might have gone through ATOS automation framework, ASQL framework. So it has a lot of supporting function libraries which are available, which will give optimize your automation testing process. So if you are not familiar with the SQL framework, just log into VSS and download it, try to practice it. So I mean, I'm just following the SQL framework approach. Whatever supporting library files which we have now, I'm just associating it and making this application area is ready to execute any application, any web-based or SAP-based application. Yeah. So in application area where there is a launch QTP option. If you click on that, our QTP will launch with this application area, test demo app area. It takes some time. Please bear with me. By the way, so far any doubts? Am I clear to all or any in confusion?
No, carry on.
Okay. As usual, quality center is very slow today. Let me close unwanted applications, at least to provide some space for it. It is taking a lot of memory to launch. If you have good configuration machine, it will launch immediately. And of course, that is also depends on our HP ALM bandwidth speed. It's supposed to launch now. Everybody can see the QTB has opened test demo app area. It is the application area. In the left hand side, you can see there are function libraries, object repositories, and keywords. In general tab, we have option to associate some add-ins and additional settings. Most probably, we will be associating function libraries and object repositories here. So I go into here. There are some default function libraries which will provide BPT, but we have our own function library files.
You have login using your ID, right?
Yeah.
The application created is in some other name, general.